All right, everyone. Thank you for coming. My name is Melissa, and I've been doing this for about 3 months now, so I'm fairly new. Tonight's discussion is about following up. So following up like a pro, I like to say like a boss, because that's really what it is. So let me share my screen with you. I am not tech savvy, so bear with me. And my computer's slow. So now we just have some spinning action. There we go. All right, got some black screen going on. Bear with me.
I see a Dwayne.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't see that. Okay, what do you see now?
I see a picture of you and Dwayne. That's what I see too. I see many pictures of you and your man. Here we go. It's popping up.
Is it popping up?
It is.
I don't see it.
I just saw you exit out of something.
I'm gonna hit PowerPoint again. It was just open, it closed. See, Sarah, I told you, technical difficulties, right? It doesn't fail. Okay.
There you go. Awesome.
Try this again.
Carolyn, can you mute yourself? There you go. Thank you, girl. All right.
All right. Are we seeing it?
Yes.
All right. So following up like a pro. So before we dive into this, I did a little bit of research, and basically what I found out is the follow-up is probably one of the most important steps, right? Because we have people, and it's human nature. Like, we have commitment issues. So essentially, when you're following up, it's not much about the product. It's about you. Because a lot of times they don't know a lot about the product. So it's you and your techniques. And you're going to be terrible at first, right? You're going to like vomit all over them, and they're going to be very confused and terrified of you, because I did it. So you just have to try, and then you'll get better, because it's all about you building the relationship with them. Because at this point, it's not really about the product, because they don't know how great it is. So it's about you. All right, so people are always like, so when do I follow up? The answer is up to you. However, I did a little bit of dabbling, and I saw some people, 24 to 72 hours is really the majority of what network marketing people suggested. So you don't want to be too soon. So maybe 24 hours is too soon, because it's kind of like you're nagging. And nobody wants to like stalk and like creep on people, because it's not professional. It's tacky, right? And you don't want to leave it too late, because at that point, A, they might have forgotten about you. B, you don't look like you're serious. C, you might have sparked something in them, and somebody else might have approached them, like one of the competing companies, or maybe another coach. So you might actually lose them. So you want to be tactful and kind of figure out what works best for you. And don't forget to follow up, because if you forget and you come back 2 months later, then you kind of look like a joke. So some of the tracking systems that you can use, depending on, if you talk to a lot of people, then it's easy to forget about people, right? Like my memory is so bad, like I often forget to brush my hair. So it's hard for me to remember who I talk to and when I talk to and when I should follow up. So I have a big calendar on my desk and I'll write down notes on that. Like in the specific day, I'll write down the person's name because a lot of the people I don't know. So I'm not going to remember their first name, their last name. I'm not going to remember how to spell it. So I'm going to write it down. And then on that day, I'm going to reach back out to them. You can use sticky notes if you're like an office worker or if you have a home office. Phone reminders. So like sometimes I'll use the phone reminders because it's really annoying and it pops up in your phone and it's like, hey, call this person, do that. And it won't, like, you set it on like an interval. So it'll pop up, every 5 hours or every hour, every day until you hit the little check button. You can also use your phone notes. So I have an iPhone. So in the notes section, I use that for a lot of stuff because I have an iPad and I have a Mac. So I can share my notes and you could text it to people, etc. So just find a way that works for you that helps you not forget because you want to make it as easy as possible on yourself. So the script. When you're reaching out to the person, I call this like a probing question. So I stole this from Sarah. She says, when we talked the other day and you said, blase, blase, were you serious or were you just playing around? So me, I don't speak like that. So I wouldn't necessarily say like that, but the concept would be the same. So me, I'd be like, hey girl, we talked about blase, blase, like that's pretty dope. What do you think? Like, you ready? Are you ready? Like, can you commit? So I would say something like that. So if you can take this sentence and make it fit for you, then apply that. And then they would say, yes, hopefully, yeah, that's cool, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm super like excited. So I'd be like, yeah, that's exciting. Like, that's cool. All right, you're serious. So this is what we have to do next. Like, this is our next step. Like, let's go. Like, I'm glad you're ready, When you're confirming appointments. So I saw 2 different strategies on this. And ultimately, it would depend on the type of person you have. You need to get to a specific time, right? Get to agreement. Some people are kind of like wish-washy. Like, those friends that you have that are like, you're like, what do you want to eat? And they're like, I don't know. And you're like, okay, what about McDonald's? And they're like, no. And you're like, Chipotle. And they're like, nah. And then you never like come up with a time. So with those type of people, you need to just come up with a specific time. So whether that be like, look, I work from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. So let's do Wednesday at 6 p.m. Boom. You're busy. So ultimately, like, they're blessed to have your time because you are the one that has something to offer. So we're not going to beg. We're not going to stalk. We're not going to follow these people. Like, you have to portray yourself with this confidence because what you have is dope, right? And this is going to be good for them. So, and if they like, seems like they're not trying to give you answer and you're going around in circles, just be for real. Just be blunt. Look, I don't want to waste your time. I definitely don't want to waste my time. So let's lock in a date. Like, let's commit to something and just make it happen. There's some more methods and key phrases to make them commit. So you're basically saying like, so okay, so how good are you when you're keeping appointments? You could say something like, me, I'm pretty aggressive. So I'd be like, you're going to commit, right? Like, you're not going to waste my time. Like, that's just me. And they understand that because I'm a genuine person, you can compliment them. So you man of your word, woman of your word, anything that kind of lets them know that you're excited about the fact that they're willing to make this change and this commitment. And then you can also say, when you have important appointments like this, how do you, I spelled topically, it's typically, I'm sorry, track them. So this is just basically trying to make sure that they don't forget. So me, I would just be blunt. I'd be like, you're not going to forget, right? Like, are you writing this down? Do you have this on your Palm Pilot? Like, you could make it a joke, right? You put this in your Palm Pilot, haha. So As far as some extra steps that can help is you can walk them through the appointment on their phone, right? Maybe some people like to know like what's going to happen, what's the expectation. This one I thought was kind of neat method. So call them the day of the appointment and see if you can push the appointment for 15 minutes or so. So I actually did this without even seeing this the other day with a lady that signed up to be my coach. And it was because I was at the gym and I got caught up. So I guess I did it by accident, but it kind of worked because once again, you're showing that, you know, you're kind of busy. You're reaching out to them to confirm without them knowing that that's what you're doing, right? You could also kind of spin it and be like, oh, you know, this came up, but I want to make sure that you know that I'm dedicating, you know, appropriate amount of time with you because it's important to me, because you want to make sure that they feel important. And we're never going to say, hey, are we still on for today? And that was kind of cool too, because like imagine if you were going on a date and somebody would text me like, are we still on for today? Me, I'd be like, I don't know, you could be offended by that, or I could be like, I would rather someone be like, I'm coming to get you at 8 o'clock, be in your dress, you know? So we're not going to act like we're wish-washy and we're not confident of ourselves, and we're going to set expectations because people are going to respect that. And then also another method is see if you can get them to bring something extra to the appointment. So this was examples of the fit clubs, all right? Hey, you think you got some extra weights or extra mats that you can bring? Or if you're doing the home parties, oh, I'm going to serve hors d'oeuvres, so can you bring the cheese and I'll bring the crackers or whatever. And even for the online business, like, hey, make sure you bring something to write with and a pen and then your bank information. Because in this essence, what you're doing is having them feel involved, right? So they're involved in the process and they have some buy-in at this point. So, because it's all psychological. If you're doing the social media follow-up and the presentation, like the business opportunity itself didn't get them to like right away say yes, then tell them like, hey, I'm still going to keep you in the loop. I appreciate your time. And add them to your distro list. So whatever products that you're sending out, include them on it. So make a note of it and make sure that you're continuing to build that relationship because you want to gain their trust. Because even if people aren't liking your statuses or commenting, they still see you. Trust me, I know. And people always come back. If people say no, they don't mean no now. They just mean they're not ready. Maybe they need to see a little bit more from you, right? So this is where you have to be consistent and show that, you know, you're happy. Never be your negative Nancy's on Facebook, all right? You want to show that your life is fantastic. You got positive things going on because positivity is contagious, all right? And those are the type of people you want to attract. You don't want to attract negative people and people living in the gloom, right? So continue to share your stories and your milestones and your results. Here it says once a month via private messages. So you can do that also. Be like, hey, I thought you would really like to say if someone's like a dancer or something. Hey, Instagram, Beachbody has some pretty good transformations. So you could save those and you could add that to your newsletter, or you can private message them like, hey, look at this transformation. I see one today, like 30 days on size. You could be like, isn't that awesome? And they'd be like, yeah, that is pretty cool. And then you never know, like you could spark something. All right, I'm going to go back to me. Stop share. All right, that's it for the presentation. It was kind of fast. It was 15 minutes. Who's got questions?
You did amazing, Melissa. Thank you.
Thanks. I'm going to unmute everyone. Okay, everyone's unmuted.
You did awesome, Melissa.
Thanks. Does anyone have questions?
So here's what we've been doing, Melissa, because people are shy, but people are on here because they want to learn. Otherwise, they wouldn't even waste their time, right? So just randomly call out someone and just do a quick role play and have them follow up with you, or you follow up with them. 2 examples.
Okay.
Da 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 da, like that. All right.
All right. Joe. Hey, Joe. You
I
wanna,
was hoping you wouldn't pick me.
all right. So
You're silly.
I'm this random person. You see me in the gym, and I'm pretty in shape, and you're approaching me like to be a coach, and I sat through the business opportunity, but I didn't commit. Like I was like, okay, that's cool. I'll get back to you. And you have me on Facebook, and you have me on your cell phone. So approach me however you would. Let's just walk through it.
Are you cool?
All right, Abby. She's a ham.
Are you gonna approach me on social media? Are you gonna walk up to me again at the gym, or text me, or what are you gonna do?
Abby. Oh no, I'm trying to think. I'm still relatively new to this, so I'm trying to learn. Well, I'm more of a person that I'd rather meet if I met you in person. I'd rather meet you in person again and ask you. So I'm not big into the whole texting or phone. I absolutely hate phone calls.
Okay. So you're gonna see
I'd be
me.
more apt to ask. I'd be more apt to ask you in person. See how you were doing and see if you thought about what we talked about before. So.
And I say, oh yeah, it's just been really busy. Like I just I hadn't really thought about it.
So I'd probably ask him, think about it now. Do you, you serious about this? Are you serious about making a change in someone's life, changing your own life?
Yeah.
I say, yeah, I am. It's just I'm really busy. Like I got the gym, and I got a job. I don't know.
I've got a job too, working. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to make a change in my life, and so what just happened?
At that point, I almost feel like maybe you could show me something. Like maybe you could like pull out your phone and be like, let me show you something. Like, let me show you this person's, transition or progress story, or your own. You could tell me about your own. Like, hey, since the business thing, I've lost 5 pounds and I have a lot of energy. Like, show something. Because at that point, you're not just talking, right? You're about your business. And then I'm like, oh, okay, this is legit. Does that make sense?
Makes sense. Taking notes.
Okay. Who else wants to play? Does anyone else want to play? Jessica. Yeah, look at his face.
I read last week.
Hey!
Pick on someone else.
She wasn't even on last week, so she didn't know.
I missed it. I'm sure you were awesome.
No, you pick on her. She needs this. Go for it, Jessica.
Okay. This is just following up, correct?
Mhm.
Like we're done. I'm already done inviting you.
Yep.
We already watched, right?
Yep, I sure did.
Okay, so I'm gonna call you.
Okay.
Let me turn this around because I gotta pretend I'm actually right and not see you guys. Hey, Melissa.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So did you get a chance to take a look at the video that I sent you?
Oh, you know what? I forgot. I'm sorry. It slipped. What was it? It slipped my mind.
It was the video showing you the opportunity that we have. But you know what? If you're really busy, this might not be the time for you. So let me know when you are actually serious about this.
Oh, so I'm not. Okay, so I'm not serious.
Well, I mean, if you haven't made the time, then I'm assuming that you're not.
Well,
Am I wrong about that?
Well, how much time does it take?
It's only going to be about 8 minutes.
Okay, I can do 8 minutes.
You can do 8 minutes right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to set the timer right now, and I'll call you back in 8 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Did you see? I felt that. I was like, wait a minute. You know?
Thanks.
Yeah, that was cool. That would have worked for me.
Okay.
For
Cool.
some people, they might have been like offended, but I don't get offended. So, and think about it. People who get easily offended, do you really want them? You know? No, I don't.
But that's probably because I can tell already what your personality is like and how to talk to you. But if you're someone who is more of a pearl, then I'll be like, oh, okay, were you really busy? Okay, I understand. Can you watch it now?
Right. That was good. Sarah, what's up?
We're good. Let's take a group picture, and if anybody has any questions, now or forever hold your peace. If you don't feel like talking, type it in the chat box and Melissa will answer it. So let's take a picture real quick. 1, 2, 3, cheese. Got it?
Did you
All
get
right,
it?
questions on follow-up, guys. I got a fun fact. They say it takes about 8 follow-ups to close a sale. And that's not even like following up from presenting the business or the challenge pack. That's just like, pretend I initially met Melissa at the gym and I got her contact info and I actually called her or texted her. That's 1 follow-up. And then actually giving her an exposure. That's the 2nd one. Then following up, asking how she liked it. That's the 3rd one. And let's pretend on the 4th one, she just disappeared for a month because she decided she just didn't want to talk to me for a month. So I'm going to follow her up for the 5th time. You just got to keep going for the sale, going for the close, right? So on average, it takes about 8 follow-ups for people to say yes, unless you get super lucky and you got someone that's just like, okay, I want to do it, which would be me, a Sapphire. I'm like an easy close. You have anything else?
I just Snapchatted you guys. Sorry.
Yay! That's awesome. Christiane, can I get a hot tip from you because you're a strong follow-up closer? And then we'll call it a night.
Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I hear like a lot of feedback in the background. So my thing is that I'm a phone person. I am phone all the way, and my best success has been on the phone. If I get them on the phone and they talk to me all the way through everything, they're done. They're closing. Like, they're going to sign up. I don't know. I've always been on the phone since I started coaching. Even before I did any training or anything, I was a phone person. So for me, my follow-ups are just so much better. If you end up doing the whole messaging back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, I guarantee you're going to struggle following up and closing it. Because you end up talking about stuff you don't need to. It ends up becoming too much talk. And then you end up losing the person in the middle of all that talking. So my actually little tip is get on the phone. Do the following up on the phone. Now, obviously, if you're going like Sarah said, months and months and months and months and months and months. I mean, you can follow up by message, but you know what's a great tool that I've been using too, and I think most of you know about it. Have you seen the voice memos in the Facebook message? use the voice memos, because it's like you're giving your personal touch without necessarily getting on the phone, but they hear your voice. So I've actually been doing all my follow-ups via voice memo. If it's like somebody that you've been following up for months and months and months is what I mean. I don't type anything anymore to these people. So that's all I can say. That's my biggest tip.
Same thing with, you've actually met people in person too, right?
If they are local, no matter within reason, I would much rather meet them in person than sit there and jibber jabber on the message. I will meet them in person. So yeah, I'm all about the personal thing, and I've been all about that since I became a coach 3 years ago, way before I did any training. So that's my tip.
Thank you. All right, cool. Thank you for your time, everyone. Melissa, you freaking rock, and everybody else does too for growing your business. Have a great weekend. We'll see you tomorrow's call. Whoever's going to do a Getting Started Right call. If you haven't done that yet, or you feel like you need brushing up on how to get started right or how to get your team started right, Leah will be hosting it, and she's really good at laying it down, giving you the straight talk when starting your business. Good night, everyone.
Bye.